Hello and welcome to day 14 of my Plein April series, where I am coming out to paint every day in the month of April. I am using gouache paint in one sketchbook, so at the very end of April we can look at it all together. Today's subject is going to be the Three Sisters Mountains, which are right behind me. This is a beautiful view from my friend's house and I'm really excited to paint them. So let's see what I create, shall we? Okay, let's see here. I want to do shrubbery. We got the Three Sisters. This one is the North Sister. She is the tallest. I'm just using my pencil. Here's the middle sister. Make the North Sister a little bit taller. So I just like to sketch out everything to make sure I have the proportions correct. So like the formation of the rock, the terrain. This is a beautiful view of the Three Sisters. This is just like amazing. It's way better than what you'd actually see in the town of Sisters, in my opinion. It is just fantastic. It's like you can't get any better than this. I didn't know you could get a view better than this. I mean, I didn't know you could get a view as good as this. So I'm just kind of roughing in the dark patches, as in where you can't really see the snow. So this is probably like a lot of trees. I have a tree in the view right here, but the beautiful thing about painting is that you don't have to paint every single thing. So I just kind of checked how tall the mountains were. This North Sister is the tallest from this view. And then the middle sister's the middle one. Fix this a little bit more. Like, drawing skills are really important to keep up. Once you stop drawing, it takes a lot of work to get the drawing skills back. There we go. And then this is the South Sister. Oh wow, 2 airplanes are flying over. And then the South Sister here, she is, so this one, yep, is still, so I'm measuring, still taller. This one, yep, is shorter. Okay, perfect. Very precise measurements right there. So fun fact, the South Sister, I've actually been to like near the top of it. Yeah, that was a long hike. Just trying to get everything in, all the major parts. Time to start mixing some paints. Get my water out. So once again, I have a limited time frame for painting today. I am a member of the Watercolor Society of Oregon, and this weekend is their spring convention. And so I am leaving shortly. Let's see here, what time is it? I'll be leaving in about an hour. So about a little over an hour, so about an hour to paint. And so these, I noticed doing these time constraints on how much time I have to paint, I think it's helping me get better, like more decisive in everything, like really deciding what to do. So I'm just going to mix some colors, start blocking in shapes. I might do some more not quite true to life colors. I want to play around with maybe purple. And then let's do green. Purple's on my brush, and so when I get the yellow, since purple and yellow are complementary colors, it makes like a brown color. That's just a normal thing. And I decided today the brushes I'm using are by Sarah Barnes Studio, and with her collaboration with Craftimo. And so I'm not out like on the trail today. I'm on my friend's back deck, and so I feel like I don't have to have those little tiny travel brushes to use today. It's more a little laid back environment. Okay. And then there's some clouds up there, and they have their shadows on the ground. Ooh, I like that color. So I'm just going to start blocking in some shapes. Kind of watered down, like watercolor texture. This is like a wet on dry technique you'd use for watercolor, where your brush is decently wet and your paper is dry. I'm just using back and forth the green, blue, and purple colors that I mixed up. I'm using this flat brush. Need some more of that green. Using lemon yellow, and then this gosh, I forget this color. This is helio blue, I think. A little bit of Payne's gray. So I'm not as familiar with like flat brushes, so another painting where I am trying something a little different. So I just want to block in all these shapes. I think the bird I'm hearing is a mourning dove. The hoo-hoo-hoo. Green a little bit darker, some Payne's gray over here. That's ivory black. Okay. Time for some whites. I'm gonna clean this area off. some whites. So this is my titanium white. It's like the most true white I have. Very opaque. But first I need to do some sky. It's my big brush here. Some zinc white. There we go. I like that color for the sky. Kind of more watercolor application. Water it down. Going over the lines I drew so I don't have a awkward like white area. Really utilizing the shape of my brush as much as possible. I don't want to go back over it too much because it'll make like probably some watermarks, because that's what happens when you do that with watercolor. So I'm just gonna let it be. Okay. Alright, got the blue sky. There are some clouds. Do I want to do clouds? Yeah, let's do some clouds, shall we? Let's get Payne's gray, blue, black, zinc, kind of just light, heavy pressure. Just getting some, like the bottoms of the clouds are a little bit darker. Some water. Let's grab some of this purple. There's a little bit of cloud almost touching the top. There's no shadow on the mountain though. That's important to note. as you're painting, like the different the lighting. So like if you're painting a cloud here, if there's a shadow on the mountain itself or not. Slightly bigger brush. This zinc white really makes the paint a little bit more transparent, so you can see the different layers showing through. Then adding some of the titanium white, it's more opaque and a really bright white. Okay, I think the sky's good. Time to think about how I want to build up the snow. Like, do I want to do snow as like a dry brush effect over some of the areas? Yeah, gosh, it's hard to figure it out sometimes. Like, I know what I do with watercolor, but gouache is something totally different. Just checking to see how damp or dry my paper is. I think I'll just start over here and work my way around. So I just have some titanium white on my brush. And then there's like some exposed rocks I want to capture. So I'm going to get those. I just dipped my brush in my purple mixture with my titanium white. So it's slightly tinted. Because I don't feel like doing just like straight black. I mean, it looks kind of black from here, or maybe tinted to blue a little bit. The shadow of a mountain a little bit on this side, a little deeper. Like trying to depict different areas, like the slopes and the colors. At first I was thinking it might be too cold to paint outside, but it is really pleasant sitting in the sun. My black hoodie My hoodie is actually a Watercolor Society of Oregon hoodie. So it has like the logo on it for the group I'm in. It's a really fun group, honestly. We do a little bit about the group. We do conventions twice a year currently. Every fall it's in Salem, Oregon. And in the spring, it's at different places that members will put on the convention. All right. But this spring, the convention is in Bend, and I actually really like coming out to Central Oregon. It's just really different than the valley where I'm at. And so I stayed a night at a friend's house, and now I'm doing this painting. But Watercolor Society, affectionately known as WSO, it's a lot of fun. I'm actually kind of pretty involved with it, with different aspects. So it's a lot of fun to see everybody. Woo, that's dark. Lighten that up with a little bit of zinc. There we go. That's better. That is better. And so to become a member, you just need to live in Oregon, be 18 or older, and work in water media. So the fall convention's all about transparent watercolors. Working on this outline. It's the mountains. Titanium white. Sun is going behind some clouds. Here comes the sun again. Oh, it's so nice and warm. I miss sitting in the sun, especially out when I'm painting. It's just been so cold lately. See, there's a little bit of a peak up there. Kind of mounded. You can really see, so the color pencil I used is terracotta. You can really see the warmth of that coming through from behind my gouache washes, which is kind of nice. I mean, the sun is hitting that side of the mountain, so we want it a little warm. Looking where the shadows are. I might shift a little bit to blue over here. Yeah, let's shift a little to the blue over here. Yeah. Trying to do a little bit of colors in just like, you know, standard like black and white. Kind of jazz it up a bit. Need to work on that more. Try and remember the term. If you know the term, I can't think of it off the top of my head, obviously. Suggestive colors? Is that right? Or, I mean, it's all up to interpretation. Art is, honestly. It's not like math or science where there's one answer. Art can be like anything, pretty much, honestly. It's like whatever you want to make it. Because you make it, literally. It's whatever you want to make it. So, let's see here. Kind of like lightening up this purple. I'm getting it on my brush and moving it around more. It's almost like, it reminds me a lot of watercolor, which I love how watercolor washes can be super smooth and really smooth transitions. Man, someone is really singing today. I'm really scraping the bottom of my titanium white, it feels. But part of this playing around with gouache is using a palette that dries out between each session. So I have my paints, so I probably actually won't add new gouache while I'm working on this painting, but I'll probably add some gouache after this session so that tomorrow when I paint, I have dried out gouache again. Let's see. I really like these dry brush strokes too, but I'm careful I can cover them up and kind of still keep the look of the dry brush. You know, I'm going to add, like where the sun is really hitting it, let's add some warmth. My titanium yellow ochre. And then my titanium white. I just did a little bit of yellow ochre and trying to get a really good amount of white mixed into it. So it's just a little hint of warmth to try and show how the sun, a little bit more, is hitting up here. Just really show the different, like, snow formations, like the glaciers and everything. Kind of reminds me of when I did the greenhouse. I really wanted to show where the sun was hitting, so I add a little bit of warmth to my white. Yeah. Jazz it up. The sun is really hitting these mountains so beautifully right now. I want to capture where all the sun is hitting. Quite a bit of water on my brush right now, and that's okay. Man, that yellow ochre is really coming out. I want to do a layer of white over it to kind of tone it down a little bit. Dried a little bit darker than I anticipated. This yellow ochre is drying a little bit darker than anticipated. Do a little bit of white over it. There we go. Get the snow-capped majestic mountains. Gosh, this sun. I love it. It's really fun to like layer these whites over these darker colors. It really comes through. Okay, I need to do something with this mess. It's not really a mess, but it is a mess. Let's do... let's just do a little bit of wash. Like an undercolor. I think I will do some dry brush of white over them. So I want a little bit of coverage. I mean, this might even work too, honestly. Just playing around with my paints. Okay. Wash this brush well. And I'm just gonna get some white, and we're just gonna do some over here. Try and wipe the excess moisture out. Really using the side of the brush. I could wait till this dries more, but I don't want to wait. I want to do it now. I want to paint now. So just really scritchy scratchy. If I don't experiment, I'm not going to learn what I do or don't like. So, might as well get out and experiment. I'd say this is the ugly phase. That's probably the ugly phase for that snow. This area. Ugly phase. That's okay. It can have ugly phases. Let's really get this white out. And sometimes I'll like hold my hand to help guide it as I paint. Trying to decide where I want my whitest whites to be. There's some train over here. Man, this view, I'm going to say it again, it is a beautiful, amazing view when the sky is clear. So much inspiration for landscapes right here, like mountain. And I really believe painting from life like plein air or still lifes and whatnot helps you get better as an artist. Like if you painting from photographs, I do that so much, but when you paint from a photograph, you're already painting from something that is flattened, so two-dimensional, versus painting from life, you had to change the three-dimensional into two-dimension. And so I feel like you can really get better at drawing and painting when you do it from life. Get some of this darks back. The mountain is showing through the snow. And I really think that having some really nice dark areas next to your light areas helps bring out the, it's called high contrast. And it can really add a punch to your painting, like really jazz it up. Just little brush strokes here and there. I'm just really playing around with this flat brush, which I usually don't paint with flat brushes. I like to do round brushes a lot. Some of my green. Kind of dry brush. It's been sitting in the sun. This amazing sunshine. Get some more of a blue in there. Okay, white, your turn. Titanium white. This needs to come down a touch. There we go. That was drastic, wasn't it? Sometimes you have to do drastic things. It just wasn't right. So I had to change it up a bit. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's do some scritchy scratchies. The snow, it's kind of showing through on a slightly bare hillside. See if I can really give this a bad hair day. Bad hair day. For the paintbrush, can make a good painting. Can you hear birds flying around? Bird is like, excuse me, you're in my yard. There he is. Excuse me, lady, you are in my yard. Why are you painting my mountains? Wait, lady, you're not the right person to be in this yard. Dry brush effect. Yeah, I'm gonna need some more white in here before I do my next painting. Because gouache, since it's opaque, you really need the white to make colors. Yeah, you aren't happy I'm here, are you, bird? I think I'm nearing completion of this. Keep it light and fresh. 3 sisters. North, middle, south. I think. A little bit more. Just kidding. Not done yet. Not done yet. Tone this down a little bit. By adding white. Okay, this has, I need to do, it's like a bowl right there. Thanks for coming along with me today on day 14 of my Plein April series. I painted the three sisters, which you can see behind me. I had a lot of fun playing around. I definitely need to refill my white gouache in my little pan for tomorrow's painting. Please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to get notifications of when I post my videos, make sure to hit that little bell and set that up. Tomorrow is going to be a busy day, so I have not yet planned what I'm going to paint. It'll just be whatever is around me. I hope today's little plein air gouache session has inspired you, and I will see you in the next video.